There are 2 new templates in the Elizabeth McCravey template shop this week, and to celebrate, all of my website templates are 20% off, including the add-ons. Use the code LAUNCH20 to save 20% through June 14th of 2025, and check out the 2 unique new templates that are part of my new wellness collection. You'll find a template perfectly designed for birth and postpartum doulas or midwives, and another template designed exactly for lactation consultants and maternal health coaches. Both of these templates are perfect for birth work businesses, and I can't wait for you to check them out. Head to the show notes for direct links to shop those and use the code LAUNCH20 for 20% off through June 14th. All right, guys, it is launch week at 36 weeks pregnant time. So 2 new templates have arrived in my shop, and I'm excited to chat through what the new designs are, why I designed templates for this niche, strategies for designing more niche templates if you're a fellow designer and interested in that, sale info on all the templates in my shop right now, and then how to know which template is right for you and more. So if you're curious of what have I been working on lately during this podcast break, and in life in general, these new templates, it's going to be fun to hear about that. Or if you're wanting behind the scenes of the design process, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. Hey guys, I'm Elizabeth McCravey, an online educator for entrepreneurs, website designer, wife, boy mom, and your host for the Breakthrough Brand podcast, the show that's all about pulling back the curtain on how to actually build a successful business. I don't skim the surface around here. If you want to dive deep into the nitty-gritty details of what it takes to run a sustainable business that fits your unique lifestyle while standing out in a crowd, then you are in the right place. I created a multiple 6-figure a year business in my early 20s, and now in my 30s, I'm still running that successful multiple 6-figure a year business on just part-time hours now as a working mom. I'm here to share everything I've learned and everything I'm still learning because I believe that the keys to building a thriving business should never be a secret. Here you'll find episodes that are actionable, direct, and fun, like friends chatting business over coffee, and a fresh, honest take on the reality of being an entrepreneur. If you're ready to master online marketing, website design, personal branding, mindset, time management as a busy parent, scalable and passive income, and business strategy, then this is the podcast for you. It's time to build your breakthrough brand. Let's do this. All right, so I'm so excited to announce 2 new templates in my shop, 2 templates that don't have a human first name like all my others, 2 templates that are also a lower investment than most of my others while still being full site templates, and 2 templates that are my most niche yet. So they are live. You can go shop them at elizabethmccravey.com now. And these templates are geared towards, drum roll, kind of a different niche, right? So I'm going to talk a lot about it, but they're geared towards lactation consultants. That's one of them. And then the other template is geared towards birth and postpartum doulas and midwives. So kind of either or. And between the 2 of them, I would say they're also both great for childbirth educators, sleep consultants, placenta encapsulation specialists, maternal health coaches, and some other things. And really just anyone, if you're hey, I don't do anything in birth or baby stuff, but I like the vibe of these templates and I think it'll work well for my business, then they are also for you. But that's kind of the niche I was really designing for. And yes, ironically, but also not ironically, I created this template in a season where I've been pregnant the whole time I've been designing them and totally in that birth and postpartum headspace as a 3rd-time mom headed into birth and new life again. Like I said, I'm 36 weeks pregnant right now, and I'm also kind of sick. So if my voice sounds off, I'm so sorry. I thought about trying to put off recording this, but I need to record it, and I'm really excited to talk about this. So sorry, my voice sounds a little off. I have a little bit of a cold. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as a designer on this. And it's really cool because these absolutely felt like the perfect templates for me to create while pregnant, because again, birth and baby stuff is obviously on my brain, of course. So I feel like it's a really good fit. And every one of my pregnancies, again, this is my 3rd baby. Every time I've had a project in my business that was a big attention grabbing thing for either my whole pregnancy or a large part of it. So with Colin, my oldest, when I was pregnant with him, I made booked out designer, which is crazy. That's the kind of thing you can only do when you don't have other kids. Making a course of that size while pregnant, and it not taking all 9 months of pregnancy. So I did that when I was pregnant with Colin. And then when I was pregnant with Ethan, I made my course Podcast Success Blueprint. So both of my boys had courses as their like thing I did during pregnancy. And then now my daughter, because we're expecting a girl now, is not a course this time, but templates. So it just really, really fun. I think it's been like, I don't know, it's a sweet thing for me, like as a business owner and a mom and someone who really cares deeply about both, to have had like fun projects during my pregnancies. And I ironically, my crazy self, literally like 2 weeks ago from when I'm recording this, I had the idea for another course. And I'm like, I should do this course. It'd be a mini course. It's going to be awesome. I'm not going to share the idea for it, but I was really, really thrilled about it. I even ran it by my team and they were like, yes, go for it. And Stacy commented that like, your daughter's going to be like, why didn't she get a course during your pregnancy with her when both the boys did? And I had to like tell myself, okay, Elizabeth, you do not have time for this right now. You got to put the course as something to do later, but it is a course I'm going to make, and it will be like a mini kind of toolkit vibe course. I'm really, really excited about something to do after baby comes and after I'm back from maternity leave. But it was fun that like my boys got courses and my girl, she got templates. So anyway, doing this project though allowed me to apply my passion for design and my design skills to something I'm really swimming in at the moment and have been passionate about for a while. So like I'm a big fan of birth workers. I'm someone who really enjoys childbirth education stuff, but like from midwives to doulas, OBs, everyone in between, and people supporting women in postpartum, like lactation consultants and postpartum doulas, for example. I've also personally worked with all these type of providers between my pregnancies. So like I've had a birth doula, for example, for all 3 of my births. So anyway, it felt really fitting to do this, even though it is very outside of my usual designs. So to explain that, usually my templates are geared much more towards online business type of businesses and less themed towards one niche. So it might be a template where like the model business is a copywriter, but I planned it like with the mindset to work more vastly with less specific filler copy in it and meant to work with a bigger variety of businesses. But this time I kept my typical template structure. So you'll see these new ones include my usual pages, but they are more niche down to these specific industries. So for example, the lactation consultant template has a pricing page, okay, which I don't normally have included with my typical templates, but because of my research, I found that lactation consultants tend to have a page separate from their service page where they're laying out like, hey, here are like the 3 main things and here's the exact price, just like really clearly stated for each of these services. The lactation consultant template also comes with 2 about pages, which I thought was kind of fun to design. So there's one for if you're operating individually as a lactation consultant. And then there's another one that is for if you are operating a company with a team that has a lot of different LCs who work for it. You know, maybe it's a team of lactation consultants or doulas or however you're using the template, but there's a team about page and an individual about page. And then on the doula template, you'll notice that the service page is really specific to offering one service of like birth doula, and highlighting things like all your training as a doula, for example, which again is not something that I have on like the service page for like an online business type of themed template. It also comes with a resource page where you can share stuff by category that a doula would typically want to share with her clients. Like, hey, these are the books to read when you're pregnant. These are my favorite like hospital bag essentials, like that kind of stuff. So anyway, very, very specific to these fields, as you can hear from what I'm saying. Okay, so now I want to share some quick things that I think you'll love about these templates, that I personally love about these templates, and I think make them really unique. And then I'm going to share, why did I go so niche? Is it a bad idea to go this niche? I guess we're going to find out, but I'll share about that too. So some things you're going to love about these templates. First one, all images and videos in them are free stock. So if you want to leave any images or videos in, you can, and I would even recommend it, okay? So especially some of the videos I chose, that they're just like auto playing ones in the background. Again, go look at the templates. I will link directly to both of them in the show notes if you want to go see them. But they are very baby birth focused videos, and they will work for your business and really help you create a unique website by like combining these with some of your own photos and videos and like leaving some of the stock ones. So anyway, I would recommend considering leaving some of those. And I think that's a fun thing about this one, because typically my templates, I'm working with a photographer to source the photos, and it is like, no, you got to like remove all of these. I do have some that use stock photography. All my add-ons do typically, for example, but this one, it's like all free stock that you can leave and then add your own to like put your own touch on it. Okay, second thing, they have excellent filler copy. Y'all, I worked so hard personally writing the copy for these that serves as an example to you on what to talk about and what to include. So if making your own template feels daunting because you're like, hey, I'm an IBCLC, not a website designer, not a copywriter, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how easy the copywriting feels with all the example copy and prompts to really guide you. I'm like, hey, like here's from my research and from like working with people in this field, talking to people in this field, having this review, like this is what could work here for your business. So I did a lot of research again on like these two industries while designing. Next thing that you'll love, these are very SEO focused and they have a strong amount of copy. So this was another thing that was really fun for me about this project, but I really thought through like if this was my business and I'm a birth doula or I'm a lactation consultant or I'm a home birth midwife, like what type of stuff would I need to rank on Google for my type of business and offering, thinking that these are local businesses, which SEO stuff can be quite different when you're trying to rank locally versus a more online business that serves people everywhere because you're going to be using keywords that relate to the location of the business. So that is, anyway, that's like really pulled through in the copy and also just like using a good amount of copy because some websites and a lot of templates, honestly, okay, let's be real, don't have like no words on them. Okay. And it's going to be really hard to rank if it's just images, and like hardly any words. And if like all the headings are done wrong and advanced tagging and stuff like that. So that's something that like, if you've heard me talk about this, in my business, I love SEO. As a designer, I would say I'm a very SEO focused designer. My customers, like many of them, more than I could even begin to count, see huge results with SEO using these templates. And I also have a lot of good SEO results in my own business. So anyway, I focus on that in these templates. Next thing I love and that you're going to love, they actually come with a lot of pages, but they are lower cost than my other full site templates, which I'm going to get into why I made them lower cost, but they come with a lot of pages. So there's 13 pages in the birth doula template, 14 in the lactation consultant template. And you don't have to use all the pages or all the sections on the page. That's a beautiful thing about Showit is that these are really customizable. So if you're like, Elizabeth, like I love this page for scheduling a call with me, but like, I'm not ready for that yet as I'm starting my business. You just hide the page or delete it and add it back in later, however you want to do that. But like, you don't have to use them all. You know, like I said, the lactation consultant one comes with 2 different about pages. You obviously don't need both, but maybe like you're going to use the one for individuals and then the one that was for a team. You're like, oh, I really like the layout of this canvas. I'm going to put that somewhere else. So you can do that kind of thing. And lastly, another thing I love is that you'll love that these are on Showit, which is the perfect platform for birth work businesses. And this was another motivation for me in making this type of template is that more people in these industries need to come over to Showit. Okay. From places like Squarespace, Wix, WordPress, and even other platforms that like are really, really specific and smaller that we may have not even heard of. But anyway, Showit is just such a good fit. Okay. For you, if you're listening to this and you work in the birth space, like you are going to love the creativity of it, that you can customize stuff as much as you want. You can really like edit it yourself without having to contact a web designer or developer every time, which might be your experience on some of these other platforms. And you're going to be able to create something really unique to your business while feeling like you're working in something like Canva, which you probably are already used to, right? So anyway, I love Showit, and I hope that these templates will bring more people in these niche over to the Showit community, over to our Showit world, right? Because it's awesome. Okay, so those are some things you'll love. And again, I'm so sorry for my voice if it's bothering anyone listening. So now let's talk about, though, why go so niche? Okay, like I said, these are the most niche templates I've ever made. And the big reason, and I think this is a good thing for you guys as a business owner, whether you're a designer or not, because I know most of you listening to this episode probably are not also website designers, but just as you think about doing things differently in your business, I hope you can hear some of my own decision-making and apply that to your own business somehow. But for me, I love trying new things. I'm 9 years into business. I'm 7 years into designing templates, about 6.5 years into selling them. So a long time of doing this template thing, right? Like 7 years of like
selling and working on templates. It's a long time. And so I like trying new things. And a few thoughts I've had with this. I haven't really seen Showit templates directly trying to market to this niche, but it's a big niche, okay, that I think is worth talking to. And I think Showit's a truly perfect platform for people in these industries. Okay. So that's me like observing this thing of like, okay, don't feel like there are templates marketed to you guys. I feel like I really love this industry. I love these people. I love this kind of work. I would love to like be someone making that. So it feels really fitting. And then I think I do my best design work when I love the business type I'm modeling the business work for, or when it's client work, when it's a client who I can be really passionate about them and their company and their mission. And that is how I feel about people who work in the baby and birth space. So it's like that felt really fitting, and that made me want to go niche this way. And like I already said earlier, I won't get into it again, but this is my world. So I felt myself as a pregnant woman being an ideal client for these pretend businesses. Again, I've had a doula for every birth. I've also worked with lactation consultants in both of my past 2 postpartum seasons. I've done midwifery care for all my pregnancies. And it felt funny to me because in this pregnancy, when I was working on the birth doula template, I was also trying to hire a doula for myself, like for this third baby. So anyway, it felt very connecting while being pregnant, designing these, and I feel really connected to the work. So that's why I picked this niche. I didn't pick some random niche that I don't know anything about and have no interest in. I picked one that like made sense for my personality, the season of life I'm in, and also my own design skills and like things I'm knowledgeable about. So a question you might wonder, is it a bad idea to go this niche on your templates as a designer? So if you are a designer listening, let's talk designer to designer from someone who's like done this a bit of time. So I don't think I would have made these as my first templates ever from a business perspective, unless I'm like, this is all I'm doing. Like my whole business is themed around that, right? Which it's not. So if it was, I don't think these would have been my first templates. If it wasn't that, I mean. However, I do think for other designers listening, regardless of where you design your templates, so whether you're on Showit or Squarespace, WordPress, wherever, I teach designers in my course Booked Out Designer in like all the different industries. But I do think templates that are niche is a great way to stand out when there are so many people designing templates now. Okay. It's more saturated. If someone tells you it's not saturated, or more saturated, they're lying, because it is. There's a lot of people designing templates. That doesn't mean you can't make money doing it. That doesn't mean it's not a good endeavor, but there is a lot of people designing, more than there was when I started like 7 years ago. So instead of looking at, hey, like, oh, what's everyone else doing over there? Ask yourself, what can you do to stand out that fits your unique design skills and your personality? What do you bring to the table that maybe other designers don't? Like, what's uniquely you, and design from that lens. And I think that's going to help you be more successful as a template designer. So the short answer is I don't think it's a bad idea to go this niche, but I do think for me, I might see slower sales to start on these than what I'm used to when I launch new templates because of them being more niche, right? But again, I don't think it's a bad business decision, or I wouldn't have done it. And I'm really excited about having some templates that in this niche. Okay, so you might be wondering, why did these cost less than your other full site templates? Why did you decide to do a different price point? So I debated this, okay? Pricing is such a thing that goes into any product, but with template design, it's like, you make the templates and you launch the templates. There's like so much besides design. You price it, you make the sales page, resources for the customer, automations to deliver the product. You triple, double, check it 10 times, but one big factor is cost and payment plans, right? That's something you have to decide. And I ultimately decided that I see these 2 new templates as their own collection. I actually will have 2 to 3 more that get added to this collection later. I just haven't finished them yet. Those other ones are actually not going to be geared towards birth workers. So just if you are a birth worker, don't sit around waiting on those future templates. Are going to be geared towards other more wellness type stuff, but they're also going to be at a lower price point. But anyway, this is a new collection. And as you grow your business, you're likely starting subscriptions to things left and right like Showit, Dubsado or Honeybook, Flowdesk, Riverside, and Kajabi, just to name a few. To get the best deals on your needed software and easy to understand info about why you might need that software and if it's right for you, head to elizabethmccravey.com/tools. This is my robust resource page full of the tools I use to run my business and what I recommend for my students and customers. You'll find everything from website tools to financial and legal tools, and even my
go-to business bank and credit card. This page is free to access and just about guarantees to save you money with all the great promos and discount codes I have for these companies. So before you hit subscribe in that software, go to elizabethmccravey.com/tools to see if there's a deal to help you save a little extra money. These are their own thing, and I think they deserve their own price point that matches what I think this unique niche needs. So they are a few $100s less than most of my templates, while still being full site templates, meaning it's everything you need for like a full website. It's not something you add on to a website you already purchased. And they also come with a full blog as well. So like all the blogging stuff you would need if you would like to blog. Maybe you feel like you don't want to blog. You don't have to. You don't have to use those pages if that's the case. And you can do payment in to pay in full, or for pay. So you got two different payment plans to help extend it. So if you picked 4 payments, for example, that means you're doing one a month for a total of 4 months, including the one that is you initially buying it, and you get the template immediately. So it's like you get it as soon as you pay that first of 4 payments, and you get to keep paying over time. So pricing is an experiment in many ways. I'm curious to see how these do at a lower cost. And also worth noting, like as I say, these are lower cost. I do have less expensive templates than this already because I have a ton of add-ons. Add-ons are something that I've enjoyed focusing on. More recently, I did a lot of new add-ons last year and even some this year already, but I have a lot of add-on templates that do cost less, but all my full site templates do cost more than these. So anyway, to celebrate the launch though of these templates, if you're listening to this live, okay, all my templates are currently 20% off. The new ones and the established ones. And this sale ends on June 14th of 2025. And the code to use is launch20. Again, all this is in the show notes, but for 20% off. And if you're listening to this in the future and you're like, hey, it's way past, June 14th, I would recommend taking my website personality quiz at elizabethmccravey.com/quiz. And you're also going to get a really great discount there and also some help picking which template is right for you. So that's at elizabethmccravey.com/quiz if you're listening later. But yes, come shop the new ones. And other ones now for that big discount. You can buy a full site template. You can add in some add-ons, like whatever you need right now for your business. And I'm excited to be putting these on sale and my others too, including all the add-ons to celebrate this. So it's a really great time to shop. And if you are new to the process of buying a website and you're like, maybe you've listened to this podcast a while, maybe this is your first time, but you're like, I don't understand Showit. I don't understand what it's like to work with a template. Maybe you're curious. I want to explain in the simplest way possible that'll make sense to you, no matter how not techie and not website designy you are. Literally give me like 2 minutes to explain it, but this is how it works. The first step, you buy the template. Okay. You don't need to do anything else before that. You don't need to set up Showit. You don't need to get your domain name, none of that. Just buy the template as step 1. After you buy, you'll get directions from me on how to install your template into a Showit account. You also get videos in my Showit Blueprint course about how to use Showit, and Showit also has tons of resource videos as well. And you actually can get started with a free trial of Showit. So your first monthly expense as you think about this website endeavor is only the cost of the template. And you can get a free month of Showit with the code Elizabeth. No credit card required. And that is actually the best deal you will find for a Showit subscription discount. So you start your trial, you add your template. And when I say install, it's really easy. Like you're literally copying and pasting something. Okay. So it's not like there's this huge thing of download and uploading. I know WordPress templates and themes can feel that way. So it's really simple. You're putting something in, you're loading it in, and I have a video and also like written instructions if it feels like daunting to you. So you start your trial and then you start customizing. And it doesn't matter if you have a website live already somewhere else, you can leave that up for now. Or if you really want to take it down, you can, but there's no need to take it down. Later, you'll change the domain to this new site, but just start customizing it. And again, I have tutorials and so does Showit teaching you how to do it. And Showit is very intuitive to use. So if you've used Canva for your business before, you will likely feel comfortable in Showit as well. You can replace the images if you want in the videos. Like I said, but remember on these new ones, you don't have to. Not a lot of my templates, you don't have to. You can change out the copy to start. And then if you'd like to, you can change the fonts and colors and layout and everything. So you can really change whatever you want and you can change as little as you want, right? So like
I would recommend for these new templates, like leaving some of the photos that you feel like resonate and work well with your brand while adding in ones of you out there doing your job, headshots of you and things like that. And then obviously you want to change out the copy, but use that filler copy as a guide as you're writing. And then when you're ready to launch, I have resources on what you need to do to bring your site live. And we also offer something a lot of Showit template shops don't do, but in-house customer support. So instead of contacting Showit directly, which again, you can do, Showit support is great, but sometimes you might feel like you want help from someone who like really understands the template you bought, right? So you can email us, support@elizabethmccravey.com. That's for customers of my shop. You can get help from me and my team. And ironically, as I'm recording this, I actually just paused for a minute to help a customer support request. Because again, I'm right there with Stacy working on our customer support request. So anyway, that's how it works really simply. So I hope you will go check out these templates. If you want me just to share the links, the lactation consultant one is elizabethmccravey.com/LC, LC short for lactation consultant. And the other one is /doula. To see that doula template, if you want to just go like scurry over to your phone and type those in right now as we finish out this episode. But yeah, I hope you'll check them out and you can see more behind the scenes of them on Instagram. I'm at Elizabeth McCravey. And please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. And again, you can shop the launch sale with the code LAUNCH20 for 20% off everything. And happy 36 weeks pregnant to me over here. Again, as I'm like sick and have kind of breathy as I'm recording. If I sound breathy, it's because I truly feel like I'm ready to pop. So show third baby. But I just felt like this was such a joy-filled project to do during my pregnancy. I started working on these before I ever announced I was pregnant, but after I knew I was pregnant, to now finishing them right before birthing my daughter. And that feels really, really cool. So this was, again, like the perfect undertaking for this pregnancy. And if you're someone like me who you've I said how I had a course for each of the boys and the templates for the girls, I do think that's so fun. And so if you like very project-based things and you have the capacity for some kind of new launch during a pregnancy, it is fun. Okay. It's really fun having a project that correlates to being pregnant with your baby. Again, I think it's just fun. It's fun. So anyway, happy birth and pregnancy project to my baby girl. And I hope you guys love these templates. You can see all the templates at elizabethmccravey.com/shop. I can't wait to hear what you think. Bye guys.
Hey, thank you for listening to the podcast all the way to the end. I appreciate you being here. And if you enjoyed this episode, then I want to invite you to check out my website template shop too. Over on elizabethmccravey.com, you'll find Showit website templates that are easy to use, strategically designed, and created to help you make more money from your website. Maybe your current website is really boring, maybe it's a challenge to update, and maybe it's even the thing you feel like is holding your business back. Your website needs to be strategically and intentionally designed in order for it to convert your viewers into raving customers, and that's exactly what my templates do. These templates are designed to be SEO friendly on the back end, not just pretty, and also strategic with all the strategies I teach on the show, and they are easy for you to set up all by yourself. So shop them at elizabethmccravey.com/shop and come join thousands of happy customers using these templates. And as an added perk, you can use the code BBPodcast at checkout to get 10% off your template as a thank you for being part of the podcast fam. Again, that's BB Podcast for 10% off any template over on elizabethmccravey.com. Also, if you loved this episode, leaving a rating and review for the show on wherever you're listening or sharing it with a friend is a great way to support this podcast. Thank you again for listening, and I'll be back next week with a new episode.